Jacob Marley was dead to begin with. There was no doubting that. As dead as a doornail.
The register for his burial was signed by the
clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. So there was no doubt about it. He was dead.
That must be perfectly understood, or there can be nothing wonderful from this story we are about to relate.
Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone.
Hard and sharp as flint.
A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, covetous old sinner.
And here we see him in his office with his poor clerk hard at work. 6 o'clock.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Humbug.
Christmas a humbug? Surely you don't mean that.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry if old enough?
Well, come now, what reason do you have to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Ah, humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in a world such as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Christmas. What's Christmas but a time for paying bills with money you haven't got? A time for finding yourself a year older and not a penny richer. A time for balancing your books and having every item in them. There are a round dozen months presented dead against you. If I had my will, every idiot that went about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep your Christmas and I'll keep it in my way.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Well, let me leave it alone then. What's good may do you? Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things I have derived good by which I have not profited. Christmas among the rest. But I've always thought of Christmas as a holy time, and I've always given it its due veneration. More than that, I've always thought of Christmas as a charitable time. The only time I know of in the long calendar year where men and women are seen by one consent to open their heart freely to their fellow man. To think of them as if they really were fellow travellers through life, and they're not just another race of creatures bound on other journeys. Therefore, Uncle, though it's never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it's done me good, and will do me good. I say God bless it.
Another sound from you, Bob Cratchit. You'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. It's a fine speaker, nephew. I'm surprised you don't go into politics.
Well, don't be cross with me, Uncle. Come and dine with us tomorrow evening.
Why? Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love, Uncle.
Because you fell in love. Humbug.
You never came to see me before that happened. Why give it a reason now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you, and I ask for nothing. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We've never had a quarrel to which I was a party, and I've tried to be friends with you. But in my homage to Christmas, I'll keep my Christmas humour to the last. So, a Merry Christmas!
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year!
Good afternoon!
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit.
Merry Christmas.
for you, Bob Cratchit, my clerk on 15 shillings a week, with a wife and family to keep. Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive time of year, Mr. Scrooge, it is desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and needy who suffer greatly at the present time. Many are without the common necessaries and comforts.
Are there no prisons?
I think prisons, Mr. Scrooge.
And the union workhouses are still in operation?
They are still. I wish that I could say that they were not.
And the treadmill and the poor lord are in full vigour then?
Both very busy, sir. A few of us are endeavouring to raise funds to buy the horse and meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time of year because it is a time when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices.
Ah, I was surprised. I thought you'd, from what you'd said, something had happened to prevent them from fulfilling their useful function.
So, what may we put you down for?
Nothing!
You wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone, gentlemen. As you ask me what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. The establishments I have mentioned, I support them. They cost enough. Those who are badly off should go there.
But many cannot go there. Many would rather die first.
Then they'd better die and decrease the surplus population.
Goodness sake, Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas.
I've had enough of you, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Gentlemen, this way, this way. He must realise. God bless you all. Merry Christmas.
What do you think you're doing?
It grows cold, Mr. Scrooge. I was just going to put some more coal on the fire.
I've no mind to see any more of my money disappearing up the chimney than is necessary. And at the end of the day, you'll let the fire go out. Thrift, Mr. Cratchit, thrift. A word you could do learning the meaning of. I suppose you want the day off tomorrow.
It's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair. I think you'd think yourselves ill-used if I was to dock you a day's wages, and yet you don't think me ill-used if I was to pay a wages for no wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
It's only once a year, sir. It's a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have tomorrow off. Be here all the earlier the next day.
I will, sir. Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me and my family. And one more thing. Merry Christmas!
Ah, humbug! Think to blow his own candle out. Lift!
much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Humbug.
You don't believe me?
I don't.
What evidence of my existence have you beyond that of your senses?
None.
Don't you believe your eyes or ears?
You could be anything. Could send messages to my brain, and they have to interpret the messages that they send. You could be a slight stomach upset, for instance. A piece of beef. A blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese. There's more of gravy than of game about you, whatever you are. You see this toothpick?
I do.
But you're not looking at it.
But I see it all the same.
I have but to swallow this, to be persecuted by legions of hobgoblins, all of my own making. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Oh, mercy! Why do you trouble me?
Man of bodily mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. Oh, but why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad amongst his fellow man, and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, then it is condemned to do so in death. I am doomed to travel the world and witness what I cannot share, but might have shared and turn to happiness.
You are chained. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard. I girded it on my own free will. Is its pattern strange to you? It should not be, for know that you have forged a chain as long and as heavy as this 7 Christmases ago, and you have laboured on it since, and it has become a ponderous weight.
Jacob Marley? Tell me more, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions and is conveyed by other ministers. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little is all that is permitted me. I cannot stay, I cannot rest, I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never left our counting house. Now, weary journeys lie before me.
You've been very slow, Jacob.
Slow!
7 years dead and travelling all the time.
No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse. I travel on the wings of the wind.
You were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind should have been my business. The common welfare, charity, mercy, forbearance and benevolence. These were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop in the ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year I suffer the most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to that poor stable? Were there no poor homes to which his light could have conducted me? Hear me! My time here is almost done.
I will.
How it is I can appear before you in a shape that you can see, I cannot tell. Invisible, I have stood beside you many a day. I have come here to warn you that you have a chance of escaping my fate. A chance and a hope I bring you, Ebenezer.
You are always a good friend to me, Jacob.
You will be visited by 3 ghosts.
Is that the chance and hope you talked about?
It is.
I don't think I'd like to do that. Actually.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tonight when the bell tolls 1.
Didn't I just have them all at once and get it over and done with?
Expect the second on the second night at the same time, the third upon the next when the last strike of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more. And look that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us. Look to see me no more.
For Jesus Christ our Savior, born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's past when we were gone astray. Glad tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Glad tidings of comfort and joy. In Bethlehem in Israel, this blessed babe was born, and laid within a manger upon this blessed morn. The witches of the Mary did nothing take its scorn. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. From God our Heavenly Father, blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same. How that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Then said the angel, let nothing you affright. This day is born a Savior of pure virgin bride, to free all those who trust in Him from Satan's power and might. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises, oh you within this place, and with true love and brotherhood we shall allow and praise this holy tide of Christmas, all other captive face. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas past.
What business have you with me?
Your welfare.
A good night's sleep would benefit that.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Bear but a touch of my hand, and you shall be transported.
Goodness gracious! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here. Spirit, there's the marketplace. Farmers, I remember farmers from miles around would come to bring their produce to sell. And there's the paddock where I used to play, and the two ponies where we'd ride down to the river to tickle for trout.
Your lip is trembling, and what is that for the cheese?
Nothing, just something in my eye, that's all. Let's walk.
Recollect the way?
I could walk it blindfold.
Strangers have forgotten the dead for so many years.
alone after I've been sent away. My mother died, giving me life. How I longed to go home and find my sister. Look, Spirit, it's Ali Baba. I remember one Christmas I imagined it. He did come to me with his wild brother Orson, and what's his name? He was turned upside down at the gates of Damascus in his drawers. Yes, and the other one that was turned upside down by the genie. Oh heavens! Look, it's Robinson Crusoe. He came too. Nothing. There were some carol singers at my door. I should have given them something, that's all.
Dear brother, I've come to take you home.
Home? Home, little pal?
Yes, home forever and ever. Home for good and all. Father's so much kinder now than he used to be that home's like this heaven. He spoke to me so kindly one night that I'm not afraid to ask what's more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he brought me on the carriage to bring you right away. But first, we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merry time of the world.
Always a delicate creature, the breath might wither and blow away.
Yes,
But she had a large heart.
that spirit she did. No one could deny that.
She died and left behind a son and husband, I think.
One child.
Your nephew, Fred, who still invites you to dinner every Christmas. When his father died, that left you his own family.
Yes.
Merry Christmas!
Merry
Place?
I was apprenticed here as Fezziwig, bless his heart, old Fezziwig alive again. And there's Dick Williams, and Martha, and Jack, and Jane, and Sarah. Oh, spirits, I was happy here.
Ebenezer, Dick, come boys, clear the way. There's no more work tonight. Time when all men stand equal. Now, clear the floor and get ready for some dancing. Ebenezer, young bell there has no part for dancing. I think you should ask her. Such a bird for many a month.
Why, Mr. Fezziwig, you're embarrassing me in front of all our young friends.
I don't wish to embarrass you, my dear, but she really has surpassed herself, hasn't she?
Dear Mrs. Fezziwig, please accept this flower from the apprentices as a token of the esteem which we hold to you.
Oh, why, thank you. Now you're embarrassing me too. But thank you, all of you. It's a lovely thought.
It was Ebenezer's idea, Mabel. He collected all the money and no one gave more than he.
Ebenezer, my boy, a very happy Christmas to you.
A small matter to make these folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why, is it not? He has spent a few pounds of your earthly money. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It's not that, Spirit. He had the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. Say that his power lay in words and looks, in things so small and insignificant, it's impossible to add and count them up. What then? The happiness he gives is worth a fortune.
What's the matter?
It's nothing.
Something, I think.
I should like to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all.
My time grows short. Look and listen.
misplaced you.
Golden one.
This is the even-handed dealings of the world. There is nothing on which this is as hard as policy, and there is nothing it professes with such severity as of wealth.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance with the sword of reproach. I've seen your noble aspirations fall away one by one until the master passion gain and process you. Have I not?
So what if I have grown so much wiser? I'm not changed towards you. Have I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and intent to be so. Until in good time we might improve our worldly condition by patient industry. You were changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy!
Your own feeling tells you what you were, not what you are, but I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in half is now fraught with misery now that we are two. How often, how keenly I thought of this, I will not say. It's enough that I could think of and release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words, no, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in another atmosphere of life, another hope at its end, in anything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. Tell me, if this had never been between us, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. But if you were free, would you choose a guy who has nothing? You who measures everything in terms of how you might gain by it. And that gain must be a tangible gain, not a gain of the heart and spirit which cannot be measured. You may, the memory of what is past makes me hope you will have pain in this. But in a brief time you'll dismiss the recollection of it as gladly as an unprofitable dream which you were glad to awaken. May you be happy without pretending.
Spirit, why do you torture me? Show me no more.
One shadow more.
No, I'll not be commanded.
My time grows short. One shadow more. you
No,
shall see.
Spirit, no, Spirit!
Scrooge, do you fear to be reminded of what has happened? Is the memory so painful to you that it hurts your eyes to look again on that which you thought had been banished from your mind? Then look not to what is from your memory, but happened outside your experience just 7 years ago this night.
I saw an old friend of yours today.
Oh, who was it?
Yes.
Don't I know it? Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed by his office, and the window's open, there was a candle burning. His partner lies at the point of death, they say, in the very second, all alone. Sad, epic thing with it.
Poor Ebenezer.
How I long to be part of such a scene. Not to know the love of a child. Not to see their shining faces turn toward me in gratitude for such trifles. Spirit, may I touch your hand?
These shadows may not be changed.
Spirit, remove me from this place.
I told you, these are shadows of things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
No, Spirit, hold me no more!
Come out, man, and know me better. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen my like before?
Never?
Have you never walked forth amongst the younger members of my family, meaning, for I am but a child, my older brothers and sisters?
I don't think so. Have you many brothers?
More than 1,800.
Not a particularly large family to provide for. Spirit, take me where you will. Last night I went forth on compulsion and I learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge was transported into the streets of London. There was nothing very cheerful about the town or the climate, yet there was an air of cheerfulness abroad as if it were a bright summer's day.
All the populace were full of glee. Now and then, strangely facetious snowballs.
The shops were still open and laden down with produce.
Baskets of apple, pears and chestnuts piled high in blooming pyramids.
The customers so distracted by these sights that they would collide and spill their purchases.
Yet never a crossword could be exchanged, but there was much.
After you.
Allow me.
And,
Not at all.
and,
Thank you very much.
such was the feeling of the time.
Soon the steeple bells begin to call the good people to church.
Spirit, what particular essence do you sprinkle on these good people?
Why, my own. apply to any kind of dinner on this day?
To any kindly given to a poor one most.
Why to a poor one most?
Why, because they need it.
With Scrooge holding his robe, they went to the threshold of Bob Cratchit's house.
Poor humble Bob, who was but 15 bob a week, yet the ghost blessed his four-roomed house.
See where we are now.
Whatever has got your precious father and your brother Tiny Tim, and Aunt Martha won't half so late as last Christmas time.
Here's Martha, here's Martha. Martha, come quick, we've such a goose for dinner.
Oh, my bless your heart alive, my dear, how late you are.
Sorry, I did a deal of work to finish up last night. Had to go away this morning.
Well, never mind, you're here now. Come on, sit down, your father won't be long.
Here comes Father and Tiny Tim now.
Quick, Martha, hurry.
Well, here we are at last. But what's the matter? It's Christmas Day. Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming on Christmas Day?
I warned you.
Oh, there you are, Martha. I was worried then. So we're now all together, which is how it should be on a day like this.
Come on now, children, you go to the wash house and clean those hands. And Martha, will you help Tiny Tim? How did Tiny Tim behave in church?
As soon as golden better. He gets awful sitting by himself so much, and he thinks the strangest things. He told me, coming home, he hoped that people in church saw that he was a cripple, so they could understand why it was that blind folk see and lame beggars walk.
Oh, come on now, children, hurry. Places, please. Martha, you come and help me with the goose. And remember, there's no pudding unless we have clean plates from everyone.
And it is such a pudding as you've never seen, with the right amount of syrup, flour and fruit, to produce a confection fit for a king's banquet. Oh, Mrs. Cratchit, there's never been a goose in all of England, with apple sauce and stuffing, mashed potato and a dash of nutmeg. How lucky we are to have such fare. Now we must eat every atom off our plates, or there won't be any room for any pudding. Oh my goodness! Suppose someone should come over our wall, into our yard, and steal our pudding.
Don't tease, Bob. Don't worry, no one would do such a thing on Christmas Day.
How right you are, my dear. Now charge your glasses with Bess Adam's ale, and I give you a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. Well, I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, Charity, it's Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drank the health of such an odious, hard, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day to children.
I'll drink his health, for your sake and the day's, not his. A long life to him, and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Sure, he'll be very merry and very happy, I've no doubt.
And now a toast to us. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Such a small feast, and yet they were very grateful. Spirit, answer me one question. What will become Tiny Tim?
I see a vacant seat at the table, and a crutch without an owner. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, no, kind spirit, say it's not so.
If these spirits remain unaltered by the future, then none of my kind shall find him here. And what then? If he like to die, let him do it, and decrease the surplus population.
My own words brought back to haunt me. Spirit, if I cannot change the things that have gone before, may I change the things that may come to be?
The past is yours already, but the future can be of your making.
And without a warning from the ghost, they stood upon a bleak and desert moor.
A place where miners lived and worked deep in the bowels of the earth.
And yet they knew the ghost, for they gathered around the glowing fire and raised their voices in song of celebration.
But the spirit did not tarry here, but bade Scrooge touch his robe, and they sped off to sea.
Built on a dismal reef of sunken rock, a league or so from shore, there stood a solitary lighthouse.
But the two men
Two men who watched the lights bade each other a Merry Christmas as they shared their can of grog.
Still, the ghosts sped on until they lighted upon a ship.
They stood beside the helmsman at the wheel, the lookout at the bow, the officers at their posts, the men at their stations. Every one of them hummed a Christmas tune or had a Christmas thought.
But still the spirit did not rest, and it came as a great surprise to Scrooge to hear a hearty laugh.
It was a great surprise to Scrooge to recognise it as his own nephew.
I say, that man at church, with the young crippled boy, Fred, you say you know him?
Yes, he's my uncle's clerk, Bob Cratchit. Tiny Tim's the little boy. How he managed to keep body and soul together with what my uncle pays him, I will never know. But he's a cheery enough fellow for all that.
Has he any other children?
3, I believe. The eldest goes out to work. I saw him yesterday and he wished me a Merry Christmas.
Not your uncle, I'll be back.
No, he said, Christmas, I'm back!
Well, surely he didn't mean it.
Yes, he meant it.
Well, more shame to him.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. Not as pleasant as he might be. However, his offences carry their own punishment. I have nothing evil to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least so you're always telling us.
And what of that? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't make himself comfortable by it. I have no patience with him.
Oh, I do. I feel sorry for him. I couldn't be out of him if I tried. He takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come to dine with us. Therefore, what is the consequence?
Look, he misses out on a good dinner.
Indeed, he misses out on a good dinner. Topper? Game time.
Game time!
Game time!
Let me see the menu.
Oh, but how you rejected their invitation. How you rejected the only warmth and affection shown you by Fred and his wife, your only living relative.
I'm right now, and my heart yearns to be part of their family once more.
Ah! I got you!
Take it last. Ready for the next game? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Are you alive?
Yes.
Are you an animal?
Yes.
Are you friendly?
No.
Are you female?
No.
Are you human?
Barely.
Do you live in England?
Yes.
Do you live in London?
Yes.
Are you well known?
Very.
Are you popular?
No.
Are you old?
Oh, exceedingly.
Are you generous?
No.
Are you thrifty?
Yes.
Are you grasping, tight-twisted old skin?
Would you cut a current in half?
Quarters.
And would you never even give us the time of day?
Not likely, no.
I know who it is. Uncle Scrooge!
Uncle Scrooge! He has given us much merriment, but as it's Christmas, and I don't wish him any ill will, we shall drink to his health. So, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old boy, wherever he is. He wouldn't accept the sentiment from me in person, but he shall have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge!
Uncle Scrooge!
They have only scorned me, and yet they drink my health.
They bear you no ill will, and only wish you well. My time is almost done. We must go.
Our spirit life so short?
My life ends this night,
Tonight.
at midnight. See here. See where graceful youth should touch their features, fill it with the freshest tints, a stale and shriveled hand, like age, has pinched and twisted them, pulling them to shreds.
Spirit, whose are these unfortunate children?
They are yours, and all mankind. The boy is ignorance, the girl is want.
Are they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Scrooge looks about him for the ghost that saw him not.
As the last stroke of bell ceased to vibrate, he remembered the predictions of Jacob Marley and lifted his eyes, beheld the solemn phantom draped like mist coming towards him.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are to show me things that have not happened yet, but may come to pass. Spirit, why do you not speak? Lead on. The night is waning fast, and it's precious time to me, I know.
The phantom moved away. Scrooge followed in the shadow of its cloak. It scarcely seemed to enter the city, for the city rather seemed to spring up about them.
They saw the merchants who hurried up and down, their money chinked in their pockets. Scrooge had seen them often.
They stopped by a group of merchants, and Scrooge was beckoned to advance and listen to their discussion.
I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
Well, when did he die?
Last night, I think.
Well, how did he die? I thought he'd never go.
I don't know, God knows.
Well, what's he done with his money then?
Well, I heard, actually.
Well, I bet he hasn't lent it to his company, that's for sure.
Well, it's likely to be a cheap funeral, for upon my life I can't think of anyone to go to it. Suppose you break up a party and volunteer?
I'll go, if lunch is provided.
I must be the most disinterested among you. After all, I never wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I'll offer to go if the rest of you will. No. When I come to think about it, I'm not so sure I wasn't his most particular friend, for we used to stop and speak whenever we met.
Oh, Scratch has got his at last then, eh?
So I'm told. Will you attend the funeral?
No, not me. I've got better things to do. Still, it's an ill wind. Somebody will benefit from me going, that's for sure. Well, must be going.
Cold, isn't it?
Oh, seasonal for Christmas. Got a skater?
No, I've something else to do. Good evening.
Spirit, is this all these people can feel about one of their kind who has died? Have they no feeling?
They left the busy scene and went into the obscure part of town where Scrooge had never been before.
Well, Joe, what about it then?
Here, Joe, how much?
You're a right keen pair, you are. Disposing of his belongings, have only just gone, so to speak.
Everyone has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true, no man more. So who's the loss for a few shillings like these? No dead men, that's certain.
No, indeed. Now, if he'd have wanted him after he was gone, then why wouldn't he be more natural in his lifetime? 'Cause if he hadn't been, he'd have had someone with him when he was struck with death, rather than lying, gasping out his breath, alone.
That's the truest word ever spoken. It's a judgment on him.
And it should have been a heavy one. You could depend on it. Well then, Joe, what do you think of that bundle? What's it worth to you then? Speak out, play? I'm not afraid to see it.
Here you are. And I wouldn't give you another sixpence if I was to be boiled in oil for not doing it. Now then, Mrs. Pilgrim, what have we here? Do you know, I always give too much to the ladies. It could be the ruin of me. What's this? Bed curtains?
Aye, bed curtains.
You don't mean you took them down with him still lying there?
I do, why not?
You were born to make a fortune, you were.
I certainly shan't hold back when I can get something by coming forward, especially not from a man such as him.
His blankets?
Who else? He won't be needing them now. He'll be hot enough where he's going.
Well, I hope he never died of nothing catching, that's all.
Don't you worry about that. I weren't so fond of his person that I'd loiter about him if he had have done. And you can search through that shirt as much as you like. You won't find no hole. It's the best he had. They'd have wasted it if it weren't for me.
What do you mean, wasted?
Why? They was only going to bury him in it. But I took it off him. If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, then it ain't good enough for anything. It's quite as becoming to the body. And it can't look uglier than he did it, that man.
Well, here you are then, and you won't get a more generous offer anywhere.
Well, there's an end to it, you'll see. He frightened us when he was alive to profit us when he was dead.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man is quite like my own. Is there anyone in this town that feels emotion connected to the dead? If there is anyone, Spirit, show that person to me, I beseech you. Merciful heaven, what is this place?
The scene had changed, and there before him was a bare uncurtained bed, on which lay something covered up, which, although it was dumb, announced itself in an awful language.
Oh, Spirit, remove me from this place! In removing myself from it, I will learn this lesson. Trust me, let us go!
The phantom spread his dark robe before him for a moment, revealing a room by daylight, where a woman and her children waited.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
Oh, you're ruined.
No, there's hope yet.
Relents there is. If that miracle has happened, then nothing's past hope.
He's past relenting. He's dead. I went to see him last night to try and get a week's delay. Got put off by his charm. Seems he was dying then. He's dead now.
To whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know. His only living relative is a nephew, but by that time we shall have the money. We may sleep with light hearts tonight.
Spirit, is the only emotion you can show me connected to that death full of happiness? Show me some tenderness connected to it, or that dark chamber, Spirit, which we saw just now will remain with me forever!
The spirit conducted him through several streets which were familiar to Scrooge, until at last they arrived at Bob Cratchit's house.
Please, Father, don't cry so. We must visit Tiny Tim often, and see how green and pleasant a place is now his home. I was going to take him on Sunday, my little child. But do you know, a most extraordinary thing happened. I met Mr. Scrooge's nephew, Fred, and I was a little down, you know, but he shook my hand heartily, and he said how heartily sorry he was for our loss, and that if he could be of any assistance, we only had to call, and he gave me his card. I really felt he had known our Tiny Tim, and felt for us.
He's a good soul.
I'm sure of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he offered our Martha a better position.
Hear that, Martha? You may sit up for yourself one day.
Get along with you.
It's as likely as not one of these days, but whenever and however we part from one another, I'm sure that none of us shall forget poor Tiny Tim. And when we recollect how patient and Marley was, even though he was only a little child, we shall not quarrel among ourselves and forget Tiny Tim in so doing. No, Father.
No, Father. Never.
I am content.
Spectre, I feel the moment of our parting is at hand. Answer me one question. Are these shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be?
Right then, lad. I don't want a repeat of what happened last week. You were carrying that coffin round the cemetery for 3 hours. Thought you'd lost the plot.
Spirit, who's in that lonely coffin? Is that the man we've heard so much about? Is that the man who's inspired derision, indifference, and indeed relief?
Come on, lads, let's get it filled in.
I bet there hasn't been a run on the florist for this one.
Nah, I can hardly think of a mourner who was there.
That lot of good as well does him now, eh? There was no one to cry for him at his funeral.
He never used his money in life, and he certainly won't use it now.
Come on, Ebenezer Scrooge, the richest man in the cemetery.
No, Spirit, no! No, Spirit, hear me! I'm not the man I was! I will not be the man I meant to be, but for the derivation of you and your kin. I will honour Christmas in the past. I will keep it in my heart. I promise to live in the past, the present, and the future. I will The shadows of things that would have been made me dispelled. Oh, Jacob, Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be placed but them. Oh, I know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as giddy as a schoolboy, as merry as a drunken man. Oh, oh. What day is it today? How's it with the spirits? Oh, it is a beautiful day, though. Boy! Yes, you boy! Come here! Tell me. What a fine-looking boy you are. What day is it today?
Why, sir, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day! Oh! I haven't missed it! Oh! The spirits did it all in one night. But of course, they can do anything. Ha! Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year! Busy. Boy, come here. What's your name, boy? Come here, yes, yes.
John, sir.
John, an honest name. Tell me, John, do you know the poulterers in the next street?
Certainly.
Oh, what a fine boy. What an intelligent boy. Tell me, John, they have hanging in the window a prize turkey. Have you seen it?
It's the one almost as big as me.
Oh, you're a clever chap. Yes, yes. Here, we'll give you some money and I want you to go and buy it. And I want you to deliver it to this address. And don't forget to ask for Mr. Cratchit. Oh, and there's another thing. It's a honey for a cab. Good boy. What a lovely boy. Hey, come back here. Yes, you boy. Oh, and here's something for yourself.
Oh, thanks, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas.
Gentlemen, yesterday I was rude, I believe. I fear, am I too late to make a donation?
Oh, no, sir. No.
Well then, put me down for.
Bless my soul, Mr. Scrooge.
Not a penny less. And there's a whole deal of back payments involved in that, I assure you.
I don't know what to say to
Don't
such...
say anything. You will come to see me, won't you? You will come to see me.
We will.
We will, sir.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Good day to you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, bless you, thank you so much. 50 times, 150 times, bless you both.
He went to the church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro.
He patted young children on the head and spoke kindly to beggars.
And in the afternoon he turned his steps toward the deputy's house.
He must have passed the door a dozen times before he stopped to knock.
Good boy, and,
Uncle Scrooge, this is my wife Alice. Alice, this is my uncle, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Pleased to meet you, my dear. So pleased to meet you. Tell me, is the invitation for dinner still open?
It is, yes.
Then, if you both don't mind, I should love to accept.
Oh, of course we don't mind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas. Uncle Scrooge, come to lunch. Well, you're a Prime Minister next.
Scrooge went to Fred's and had a merrier time as he'd ever had. So did everyone who went to Fred's that day.
They all wanted to know why Fred hadn't brought along his uncle before.
Also lively was his conversation.
So witty his disposition.
That by the end of the afternoon, he had secured 3 invitations to tea, and one to spend the weekend with Lord or Lady somebody or other.
But he was early at the office the next morning.
Only he could be there first to see Bob Cratchit coming late.
The clock struck 9.
No what?
A quarter past.
No what?
He was a full 18 minutes late.
What time do you call this, Cratchit?
I'm sorry I'm late. Someone sent us this huge turkeys.
You are late.
I promise it won't happen again, sir. I
No,
promise.
you're right, it won't happen again. Step this way.
I
What time do you
promise.
call this? It's no good. And therefore, Bob Cratchit, and therefore, I'm going to raise your wages. Your whole salary, Bob, for the whole year. Yes, that's right. Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I will endeavour to assist you and your ailing family.
We'll talk about it this very afternoon over a bowl of Christmas soup. Merry Christmas, Bob. I mean that. Merry Christmas. And before we do anything, measure the fire before you dot another I or cross another T, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and more.
And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became like a second father.
He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as could be found anywhere.
And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well.
And so they knew, for as Tiny Tim observed.
God bless us, everyone.
Mince pies and mulled wine.